Where the hell's one?
Naziscă, da. Naziscă.
Good evening, everyone. We'll call our meeting of the Wyomissing Borough Council for February the 9th, 2021 to order. We'll start with a pledge of allegiance to the flag, which I will say, and you can say it to yourselves at home. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a roll call for that, please, Melissa?
Councilmember Boucher? Hold on, there's still some people coming on.
Oh, okay.
Councilmember Boucher?
Here.
Councilmember Woodward?
Here.
Councilmember Brunner?
Here.
Councilmember Jenks?
Here.
Councilmember Menon?
Here.
Councilmember Jur?
Here.
And Council President Moll.
Here. Before tonight's meeting, there was an executive session to discuss employment of a public official and potential litigation occurring to a involving a construction contract. We'll start with public comments. Do we have any public comments tonight? No public.
Yes. Hi, I am Dr. Sandra Jadick. I have a comment to make.
Go ahead, doctor.
So, first I would like to start by telling that I really appreciate the effort of the Public Works Department during this, snow emergencies we had. I really, really appreciate and I understand how much strain that was on everybody. However, I have to say that on February 2nd, when I was on call for emergency at the hospital and at the nursing home, and when I got out and I cleaned my driveway, actually, I figured that 2/3 of the street in front of the garage entry was not plowed. I'm not talking about the usual snow, the snow amount that's pushed at the edge of the road when they plow it. It was really about 15 feet that were not plowed from the street. So I did call Mr. Bob because I really was in a big emergency. I mean, I had to leave and he hung up on me saying that is nothing he can do. So I'm not asking for I really don't think I'm asking for anything special or special treatment. It's not my observation that this is the standard for everybody to have so much street in front of their garage entry not plowed.
Well, Dr. Janik, when we have snowfalls of that magnitude, everybody's driveway has a lot of snow in front of it when the truck comes down the street. It just happens. There's no way to avoid it. And unfortunately, they can't get out and shovel every driveway in the 50 some miles of street that we have to do.
I'm really sorry, but I don't think, and I'm not sure if you see the picture, but that cone on the left is the end of my driveway. The rest is the street. So I'm not talking about shoveling, cleaning my driveway. And I'm not talking about the usual amount that's left. I put up with it. And in every year I do plow a part of the street that margin that's left. I'm talking about 15 feet of the street that, if you can see on the picture, was left not plowed. Basically 2/3 of the street starting in my driveway was not plowed. So that's not really the standard. I haven't seen in any other place. And in, those years before, it never happened. It's the first time. If I know that that's the standard and you guys cannot clean my street, I can hire somebody on time to do it. But I don't think it's fair, and I don't think how everybody else gets it.
So what you're saying is the first cone is your end of your driveway and the gutter.
Correct.
And then
And the rest is the street that was not plowed,
I see what you're saying.
I'm cleaning the street. I'm not cleaning my driveway there.
Yeah, I know you don't have any sidewalks up there, so.
Yeah, but it's more than the side, in more than 8 feet. It was way more than that. And besides, at least go on the middle of the road. Don't leave everything in front of my driveway.
Well, why don't we have Mr. Brandenburg show this to Mr. Babb, and maybe he can talk to the driver that does your area over there and see if they can get a little bit closer. See what we can do from there.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Doctor. Sorry that happened. Okay, anyone else have anything to say?
Yes, Mr. Mall, I have something to say.
Go ahead.
1 second, let me ask my wife to mute her. We have echoing here. Can you mute yourself? Thanks, sorry. We actually had a video of her plowing, and it didn't work. Unfortunately, Melissa could not play that video. I think it was very telling. So going on this and specifying, as you can see, Melissa, you can move to the, so just notice that the two cone, this is the second cone, which is not really in the path, and you can see it is at 15 feet out. So we're not talking about a little pile of snow in front of your driveway. We're talking about huge amounts of cubic feet of snow that we absolutely had nowhere to put. As you have seen from the first picture, I had a wheelbarrow there. We wheelbarrowed the snow because there is no place to put it. You can pile it up, but after a while you get to 4 feet high, you cannot lift that snow left and right of the driveway. So we had to move it. And honestly, I don't know if you guys consider that it is normal that Jim Babb hangs up on my wife. She called him back again and he didn't answer. I don't think this is normal behavior from a public servant. And he did nothing about it. So, Melissa, let's keep going. So here we see how much they left. I have to make a couple of points and I'm going to be done. What happens is the driver actually pulls away from our side of the road as he goes up the hill. Here we can see again, I measured the part that was plowed, and you will see that it is only 13 feet. They made several passes, but somehow the path gets narrower at the top and it's wider at the bottom of the road, which tells me they did do it on purpose. Keep
Okay.
going, Melissa, please.
Come on
It's
down
just-
my street, Mr. Jadik.
Excuse me?
I couldn't even get my car down the street.
Okay, please let me finish.
Go ahead.
So this is 13 feet here. This is how much they did. Let's keep going. I'm gonna go, it's fine. The next one. Okay, here we can see, just back up one, Melissa. In other situations, they know to leave only 2 feet. This is the standard that we have. 2 feet, this is what's normal. That's the edge of the gutter, and that's how much they do. This is just across the street. So they know very well to hold the curb, to just stay on the curb. Okay, keep going next. Here we can see how how they pull out as they go up the hill. They go wider and wider. Okay, and the last one. This is the same thing. We have placed markers. I have those red reflective sticks are the curb. And you can see how they start going out as they go up the hill. Actually, at the night, I made signs to the driver to go closer to the curb, but he just ignored me and continued. Next one. They leave us with tons in front of the hydrant. We have to plow that. Keep going. There should be a video at the end. You don't have it?
Hold on.
Okay, can we have the last one, this ZZ video?
This is the one that wouldn't play, Mr. Jadik.
Oh, I'm sorry, I was muted. The ZZ one, if you can play the bottom one. Yeah, that one. Does that work? Yes, no?
Tom, you've asked Pat to look into this, right?
Yes, I did.
So,
Okay,
Well, that's enough, then that's fine.
That's enough now. Okay,
Okay, so the only thing that I wanted to say is this last video was showing there was a truck that was driving up our street from Bachman Roofing, which had a plow, and I just waved to him at some point. That was after the first really pile of snow. Now, the second one that you saw, we did it by hand, but after the first one, I waved at him and I said, can you just cut across? And the video was showing that pickup truck took only 1 minute. So this is my point. Took only 1 minute to cut across through all that pile of snow and shove it down downhill on the side of the road where it's not bothering anybody. As you well know, there's this forest over there and it's not in front of anyone's house. 1 minute. 1 minute is all we ask.
well,
To cut across.
I said we will have, I'll have Mr. Brandenburg talk to Mr. Bab about it, and we'll go on from there.
Okay, I
Thank-
trust we can solve this. Thank you
Thank-
very much.
Okay, first item of business tonight is the minutes, or first of all, may I have a motion to receive all the reports, please?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. First item of business is the council minutes from January the 12th, 2021. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes of the meeting? All in favor of accepting them as written, please signify by saying aye.
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 Have it. Consulting engineers report. Mr. McCarthy.
Good evening, everyone. Be pretty brief tonight. Just 4th Street, a lot of work was done, was accomplished before the snow, so that's now shut down for the winter. But we're about a month ahead of schedule because we had a mild November and December. So we should be in good shape to get that project done early in the spring. And then the only other thing I had in my report was due to the timing, we need council to reaffirm the final land development plan for the Stratix project at 200 Park Road. The planning commission had reaffirmed that previously.
We need a motion for that. Is that it?
Yeah, let's have a motion for that. And were there any conditions, Jim? Do you recall?
The conditions were just posting of escrow and the developer's agreement and the stormwater agreement.
Okay, I would recommend the motion be to reaffirm approval on the same conditions as it was originally approved by council.
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, so ordered.
Okay, and that's all I had to report tonight, other than what's in the report itself.
Okay, well, thanks, Jim. All those
Thank
in
you.
favor of accepting the consulting engineers report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Police chief and mayor's report. Mayor Levering, Sergeant Phillips.
I have nothing further to add this evening. So, Sergeant, do you wish to add anything or otherwise just take questions?
Well, I just want to go over the report just real quickly. I just want to let you guys know that the police department responded to 426 calls for this month. We're still operating under our COVID-19 protocols. I noticed that with the fire and EMS, they're giving you guys response times, how long it takes them to get the calls. I've been playing around with coding and found out we can do those types of reports as well. So I want to let you know that we are averaging 2.9 minutes till we get dispatched till we arrive on location, and our average time on calls is 26.7 minutes. Every month I'm having Sergeant Purcell put up some of our speed signs throughout the borough to try to find out if there's any issues. Sometimes we get calls, sometimes it's just places we know where we see have gotten complaints in the past. So we had it this past month on Reading Boulevard and in the 900 block of Old Mill Road. You can see we had, it's 25 miles per hour in those two locations, and our average speed on Old Mill was 33.81 and on Reading Boulevard 34.31. So we did not find a problem there. February 18th marks the anniversary dates for officers Ryan Hurlbrink and Corey Moser. Their 1-year probationary period would end at that date. You can see as of lately, Cumru Township's been having some problems. You saw very recently they had an issue at one of their establishments. Well, we were assisting them on that day as well, but on January 1st, we were assisting them with a robbery at the Sunoco right there at the close to the borough line at 724. On the 16th, we had a incident where we had a break-in over in the hill section of the borough, in which we were able to apprehend 4 involved subjects. They had stolen firearms on their persons, some of which were from the residents that we were called to. And that once again, at the end of the month on the 24th, we had to administer Narcan again to individuals. The opioid crisis is still in play here in Berks County. Unfortunately, COVID-19 is not slowing that down. The Narcan has been a great tool as we've saved many lives since we've brought that into our arsenal. One other thing I want to mention is that, I don't know if maybe you saw it on the news today, it was on Channel 69. The Department of Health is going to be running a COVID testing site beginning this coming Saturday, and it's going to go through till Wednesday. The Department of Health is running it. It's going to be at the synagogue on Warwick Drive. I've been in contact with Jim Babb and Pat regarding some traffic things that we're going to do with that. Myself and Tom Boucher, acting as our EMA rep, met at the synagogue today with members of Berks DES, Department of Emergency Services, to discuss how this is going to run. What we're going to do is, they ran this in the city a couple of weeks ago. You may have saw that. They averaged about 400 cars a day. So we're going to put a traffic plan in place where we're going to have all traffic going up State Hill Road, turning onto Wellington there at Tino's Restaurants, and then turning left onto Warwick to try to alleviate some of that traffic if we get that many cars, to get it off of State Hill Road. We're going to be using traffic signs that we have, that EMA has, and we're going to be borrowing some from Exeter Police to help direct the traffic around there. We're going to make Warwick Drive a do not enter at Vista so that we can't travel northbound past there. So once all the traffic that goes into the testing site comes down Warwick, they enter the lot. They're going to then exit to the right and get out of there, going towards Vista that way to try to ease any kind of congestion. We're going to have traffic signs in place. DES is going to be printing flyers and passing them out to the residents in the neighborhood. We're going to have a code red go out. I've put information on our department Facebook page tonight, and Melissa put it on the website for us today as well, so that we're trying to get that information out to the public so they know that this is going to be happening. It's going to be from 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. each day. I'm going to be closing the road down at Vista and Warwick at 8:30 every morning, just to try to prevent cars from lining up the wrong way and causing a bit of a hassle there. So it'll be closed until 6 o'clock each day. So in case you guys would hear from any constituents, that is what's going to be going on. But as far as the rest of the report goes, I added something at the end where was always the showing the time of days for when we're getting most of our calls throughout the month. I added one for the arrests. I talk about the arrests that we made, but I added that there to show what type of incidents we are making those arrests on every month. So I plan on adding that to the report so you see that as well. So if you have any other questions, I'll take them now and try to answer them as best as I can.
I see a statistic on here that I'm happier to see is much higher. Routine patrol. That seems to have gone up, the time spent on that. I think that's a good thing. And I just had one question. This regards that traffic light going west on Penn Avenue as you start heading up the hill toward West Lawn area. Is that our traffic light or is that Springs?
That traffic light, I believe, is ours.
Well, all of a sudden they seem to have changed the timer on that. And it seems to be green a lot longer if you want to turn left and get on 222 southbound. I don't know if they changed that recently or what. It's just, but it seems to stay on green arrow left turn for an enormous amount of time when there's nobody there anymore. I don't know. Just a quick observation. That's all.
I can contact PennDOT or Telco to see if that was changed at all. There hasn't been any work going on up there for a while, so I don't know if something with the snow on there is hitting the weight and it's keeping that arrow lit longer than normal or what.
Yeah, I don't know. You can check it and see, but it just seems like it's on an enormous amount of time for the left lane, and cars are backed up on Penn Avenue eastbound and a lot on the top of the bridge there. Anyway, just a quick note. Thanks.
Any questions for the chief or for?
I just have, John, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
With this, it's a testing site, not a vaccination site, right?
Yeah, it's correct. It's testing.
Okay, so is Warwick going to be open traveling if you turn left out of the synagogue going towards Santino's? Because I don't know my directions very well. That'd be left to me.
No, I'm gonna have all traffic continue right to go out towards Vista once they leave the lot.
But if someone's coming down, for example, Tewksbury, would they be able to turn left on Warwick?
Yes.
Oh, they will.
My only concern is if we do get a big line, is I could see cars packing people's driveways, and that could be an issue. But that's, I mean, what are you gonna do?
I'm sorry, you cut out. You were concerned about,
People waiting in line for their tests in front of people's driveways, but the residents trying to get out of their driveway. I was thinking if Warwick was closed going the other way, at least the cars could be in the middle to give everybody a chance to get out.
yeah, what I'm looking at here is, like they said, they're averaging 400 cars a day. Their max is 450 over 8 hours. It's going to be somewhere in the 30 to 35 car range an hour. So I'm not so sure that we're going to see a
That far
ton
down.
of traffic on there.
Okay, fair enough. And if it snows, are they going to be able to notify everybody when it's canceled?
Yeah, they're saying to us that it's all weather. Now, if we get something crazy, it might not be all weather, but they're telling me today that it's all weather the whole time.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions for the Sarge? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of accepting the police department report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Next up is the fire commissioner's report. Bill,
Okay, the report for January 2021. There were 98 calls for service. 65 of those were within the borough, resulting in 0 fire damage, and 4.6 personnel and 3 volunteers responding. And of course, year to date, 98 calls. And that's all I have.
thank you. Any questions on the fire report? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Library, Jody.
Hello. Yeah, the library board met on January 18th. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend that day, so I'm gonna let the minutes speak for themselves. Unless anybody has any questions or anything you'd like me to pass along. The next meeting is Monday, February 15th. So should be able to get you an answer then.
Any questions on the library report? All those in favor of accepting the report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Have it. Next, personnel, Tom.
Okay, in our meeting on January 19th there, the item at the bottom there, we made, the committee asked the Civil Service Commission to conduct a non-competitive exam for a chief of police position as they deemed necessary. The committee did that, and the Civil Service Commission was notified. And as a part of that, I will make a motion to have Sergeant John Phillips be appointed Chief John Phillips and approve the contract as prepared and agreed to by him and the administration.
Do we have a second?
I will second that.
And all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. So ordered. Congratulations, Chief Phillips.
Congratulations, John.
Yeah.
Thank you. If I could just take a quick second to thank all the members of council and the mayor and the borough manager for putting your faith in me to run the police department going forward. And I want everyone to know that's here, that's listening tonight, that know that this community means a lot to me. It's not just where I work, it's where my wife and I have decided to live and raise our son. So just know that all the decisions I make will always have the best interests of the community in mind. And when I bring stuff to you, it'll be with that as well. So if you ever have any questions of me, feel free to email me, call me, or if we ever get to a point where you can just stop in, and I'll be glad to help you out in any way that I can. So thank you again.
You are
Okay.
quite welcome.
Thank you, Chief.
Congratulations.
Best of luck to you, John.
Congratulations.
Okay, all those in favor of accepting the Personnel Committee report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Next up is the infrastructure report, Tom.
Infrastructure, okay. We did a lot of talking and a lot of approving. Luckily, we didn't spend any money though yet.
It's a
So,
matter of time.
yeah, I know.
Matter of time.
Oh, gee. You finance guys kill me all the time with that. All right. Okay, under the drainage issue there, for 2011 Lincoln Court, the committee is recommending council authorize a letter drafted to the homeowner at 2011 rejecting a cost-sharing proposal for that drainage issue repair, reminding of them of their responsibility to take care of the maintenance of the retention pond. And the committee was all in favor of that, and I will make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of that, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hey,
Noes? Ayes have it.
Okay, under sewers, the sanitary sewer rehabilitation televising project there that was awarded to Mr. Rehab. We're talking the 2020 televising part. We recommending council to execute that televising project and agreement, and I will make that motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
aye,
Ayes have it. Thank you.
The sanitary sewer rehab and televising project for 2021. The committee is recommending council authorize the engineer to bid the 2021 sanitary sewer rehab televising project, and I will make that motion.
Second,
Second,
we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
aye,
Ayes have it.
Okay, starting to pile them up, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pump station, the pump station project, the committee is recommending the council to authorize again the borough engineer and public works and property manager to work on obtaining a DEP permit for the Berkshire Boulevard Pump Station project, and I will make that motion.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
aye,
Have it. Go ahead,
All
Tom.
right, under water main replacement here, the committee is recommending council to authorize the engineer to bid the 2021 water main replacement project work, and I will make that motion.
Second,
second,
all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Under streets, the sidewalk 50/50 repair program. The committee is recommending council authorize, again, borough engineer to bid the 50/50 sidewalk repair project cost, I guess that would be there. And I will make that motion.
And second,
second,
all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
aye,
Ayes have it.
Jeez. All right, the Stonehouse pedestrian bridge, the committee is also recommending authorizing the bid for the pedestrian bridge at the Stonehouse along Parkside Drive South there. The replacement for that and the project for replacing that, and I will make that motion.
And a second.
second,
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
aye,
Ayes have it.
Under Public Works, the committee is recommending council to authorize the Assistant Borough Manager, Economic Development Coordinator, Michelle Fair, to work with the borough lobbyist, Kathy Bruder and Colleen Terry, to resubmit the RACP grant in 2021 on behalf of the borough for that facility, and I will make that motion.
And second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Noes? Ayes have it. Thank you.
Okay, the wireless communication, I don't think we need a council vote on that, do we, Chris? That's just like, go ahead with working on that, right? Is Chris there?
Yes. Yeah, I had to unmute. Yes,
Yeah,
that's right.
Okay, all right, then down to the bottom with the Aeroclave, I guess that's how you pronounce it, which is a gadget that does sanitizing work with what? Oh, okay. The committee requested finance to review the proposed information from them for that sanitizing system and see what sources were available for funding. And I will make that motion.
Second?
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Ayes have it.
And that is all, unless anyone has any questions, or is Jim Babb there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Any other information, Jim?
Just two quick comments. I'd like to commend my guys. That snowstorm a week or so ago, they worked that thing from noon Sunday till the end of the day Tuesday, being short really 5 people between retirements and medical issues and the Dan McCrinna transfer. So shorthanded, they did a great job. And also, I don't know if Melissa put it in your package or not, but you will get, if you haven't gotten it, the Public Works annual report. Not as many fancy charts and graphs as the police, but I think you'll find it interesting reading when you get it, if you haven't gotten it yet.
Yep. It came.
Hey, Tom.
Yes.
I'd like to say what Jim, to touch on what Jim said. I think
Go
the
ahead.
snow cleanup was unbelievable in Wyomissing. I know there's always issues. There's always an alley that doesn't get cleaned right away. There's always a driveway that gets plowed in, including mine. At the end of the day, we were able to get from one end of the borough to the other. Our emergency vehicles could have gotten anywhere in the borough, and I compliment them for that. All you have to do is go into any nearby townships, municipalities, whatever you want to say, and compare it to what we had. Maybe we get yelled at a little too much for setting the standard too high, but at the end of the day, I think we do yeoman's job. So thank you to all those guys.
Yep, absolutely. I think anybody that drives around knows when you get to Wyomissing because the roads are clean. Commendable job by everybody. They always do it great.
And Tom, a lot of those comments I saw were posted on Facebook that you can always tell when you come into Wyomissing, the roads are clear.
That's exactly correct. That's every reason why we all live here. All those in
invite you
favor
to
of
take a
accepting the
visit to the top
infrastructure
of Cardinal Road next time before you praise so much. I don't think that is acceptable. I
Oh,
understand.
it's very
Is it
acceptable.
public comment time right now?
No.
I
Thank you.
didn't, yeah.
Go ahead.
All those in favor of accepting the infrastructure report, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have it. Thank you very much. Recreation Board, Steve.
Okay, I assume you can all hear me.
Oh, yeah.
The rec board met, the rec board reappointed Eric Estabrook as president of the rec board. I know Dan's on the call to touch on a few things. The rec board did recommend, just based on timing and with COVID-19, the cancellation, unfortunately, of the Easter egg hunt. So there was discussion on other events further down the line, such as the fishing rodeo. We're talking about, instead of having a quote unquote normal fishing rodeo, extending the fishing rodeo to be maybe 3 or 4 times as long, if you will, and go up to Ruth's Bridge. That way people can do it and still be spread out a little bit. We'll work on the details if that's possible. Working on what we can do and what we can't do for Memorial Day. We have every intention of opening the pool on time, and we'll see what we can do with the summer programs at this point. But it's so far out in the air, up in the air of what we're going to do. The rec board's going to have to make some solid recommendations to the council. That all being said, I think the only thing I have to bring up to the committee is that we had 2 openings on the board. I believe that was for Pete Beck and Randy Widener, if I'm not incorrect, Dan, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Sorry.
Okay, we thank them for their service to us. And they have, we have appointed, we're asking to appoint Natalie Loeb and Andrea Berger as voting members to the rec board. So I will make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of accepting that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Okay, and just note that the rec board will be working diligently. We're going to try to do everything we can within the constraints that we have to deal with. And do you have anything you want to add to that?
No, other than I just wanted to echo the snow removal thing. Our guys, after the storm is over, are tasked with clearing all the borough-owned sidewalks and, you know, clearing out the facilities. And they, again, did an awesome job echoing Jim there. They, you know, with the amount of time they put in and then having to go do that. For our guys, it seemed like as soon as they got 3/4 of the way done, we got another storm. And kind of had to start all the way over again. So, you know, wonderful job on their part. And then just one last thing, the pond is open and we posted that on the borough website and Facebook page, and we'll continue to maintain that and monitor the condition, you know, while the temperatures are cold. So that's all.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Dan. Any other questions for the rec board?
Dan, if you need somebody to help smooth the skating pond out, Tom Boucher has experience.
Okay. They will be down there later spraying it down. We've been getting a lot of requests for that. So they will be down there later this evening. So yeah, if anybody wants to go down and bring their Zamboni down, have at it.
Tell you what, Dan, just send me a video. I'll be all right.
Yeah, you can watch it from in front of your fireplace. That's what I'll do.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, all those in favor of accepting the rec board report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. Refuse and recycling, Bill.
Okay, the Refuge and Recycling Committee met on January the 20th. The report's pretty self-explanatory. The only information that advanced disposal is now part of waste management. Should not affect any of our services, and hopefully maybe we'll see some improvements. The only other thing I wanted to report, I'm not sure if Pat had brought this up last month or not, but we have extended the contracts with both Mascaro and Advance for 2 years as per the rider that is in the contract. And on that, I would like to commend Michelle Bear for her coordinated efforts during the snowstorms with our haulers. From all the emails I read, there's a lot of coordinated efforts. The haulers were patient to allow the plows to get through some streets and some alleys, and even waiting the next day for the sun to come out and then make another stab at everything. So we may not have been able to get everywhere, but there was certainly some coordinated efforts to get to wherever we possibly could. And I commend Michelle and our haulers.
Are we back to regular schedule this week, aren't we? Michelle?
Yes, we're back to the regular schedule and we are on street side pickup until the alleys are clear enough that the trucks can get through. And with that note, I actually need to give a kudos to Tom Boucher because he was driving the alleys for me Friday morning, checking on their condition.
That's okay. So they got to have it in the street yet again this week?
Yeah, I mean, it's just some of the alleys are still too iced over or snow covered that it's not safe for the trucks to get down them. So they're picking up on the street.
Okay, one of my neighbors called me up this week, and actually just yesterday, I said, are they doing, I said, I know we're back on regular schedule. I did not tell them to put it on the street though. I know that.
Yes, street side, the recycling hauler emailed this morning with some pictures just showing, you know, the condition of the alley that they were at and that they couldn't get down it and said, you know, please continue to do street side pickup.
Same with trash?
Yes,
Okay,
I'll let everyone know if I hear otherwise.
all right.
Maybe we can get that out on the website real quick.
Yeah,
We can do that.
okay. Because I'll call that person back and tell them it's got to be in the street. Okay.
Okay. Okay, all those in favor of accepting the Refuse and Recycling Committee report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes, thank you very much. Next one up is Fire and Police. Bill.
Okay, the Fire and Police Committee met on January the 25th. And once again, pretty self-explanatory report. Just highlight total number of responses for service by the fire department was 1,526. That resulted in $282,700 in property damage. Our Fire Marshal Troy Hatt made a total of 511 inspections in the borough throughout the year. The Tower 79, knock on wood, is back in service.
For how long?
Yeah. Okay, under Western Berks Ambulance, it was reported that for the month, there were 283 calls for service in December. And it was also reported that Western Berks Ambulance responded to a total of 2,853 calls for service within the borough last year. Under the police department, there was a discussion made of extending the number of towing services. And I will make the motion on behalf of the committee to approve the addition of Arntz Towing, Matos Towing, and V&M Towing to the list of approved tow companies for the borough as per the borough code and managed by the police department.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you.
Okay, and lastly, Sergeant, now Chief Phillips, has reported that the license plate readers donated by Mr. and Mrs. Philip Wolf have been installed on the one vehicle and operating just fine. That's all I have to report.
All those in favor of accepting the Fire and Police Committee report, please signify by saying aye.
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 Economic Development, John.
Thanks. We had our meeting on the 28th of January, I mean, and I was reappointed chair. There's one thing we need to act on, and before I get to that, the committee was in agreement that the proposed affordable housing for senior veterans mixed-use property project for the Crown Plaza Hotel would be beneficial project for the facility. One must keep in mind that in the years 2017, 18, and 19, the occupancy rate at the Crown Plaza was 44% on average, and that's pre-COVID, and which is obviously unsustainable. So we're going to recommend here upcoming that we put it in place to get this senior care facility online. So I move that we recommend that council will approve moving forward with the affordable housing for senior veterans mixed use project proposed by Lockwood Veteran Services USA for the Crown Plaza Hotel, and recommend the Borough Solicitor Christopher Hartman, Borough Zoning Officer Michelle Bear, and Borough Engineer Jim McCarthy work on a draft amendment to the zoning ordinance to allow this project to move forward, and I so move.
We have a second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered.
That's all I have, and if anybody has any questions.
I think that's a good thing, John. You know, at that, I'd rather see a facility like that than a boarded up hotel.
Yeah, they seem like to be a good outfit. They've done it before. We had some concerns that they're going to address, and I'll be happy to see it be put to good use instead of just you know, atrophying away.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Reading Motor Inn.
Yeah.
Well, we're working on that, Tom.
Yeah, I know that. Okay, all those in favor of accepting the Economic Development Committee report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Hey, let me just quick ask you. I've been wanting to ask this and I keep forgetting. I guess I'll be under economic development. What outfit went into the old A-Treat building there? What is that? Is it just a warehousing or what?
It's Giorgio Mushrooms. They were renting space out by the airport. I guess in the process of manufacturing mushrooms, they have to sit for like 2+ years after they're canned and jarred. So they were leasing space out by the airport. FDA came in to do an inspection and something was wrong with the facility that they would have had to make significant upgrades. They then realized, hey, we're sitting on a property we're doing nothing with. Why would we not go there and stop paying rent? So they pulled a building permit last year to do a complete overhaul to turn it into, yeah, basically warehousing storage space.
And what is it? Mostly mushrooms in there?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. All right, just checking.
All right, next up on the list is Finance and Administration, John, or Steve. Steve?
All right, sorry, I've been called worse. Just a quick finance for this month. Cash was down $756,946, but not a whole lot of receipts coming in in the month of January, and that wasn't unexpected, and it seems to be fitting for previous years. Some things that we want to do. First of all, we had discussion on CDs and to do with some of in our checking account. So the Finance and Admin Committee is recommending to council the acquisition of 2 certificates of deposit, one for $2 million for a 6-month term of 0.2%, and another one at $2 million for a 12-month term of 0.45%. And I will make that motion.
Second?
Okay.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Go ahead, John. Or Steve.
I'm not going to read this thing to you, but I did find it interesting that we had 68 outstanding taxpayer bills with about almost $58,000 of uncollected taxes. So that's just an interesting number. I think a lot of people have asked how much is left undone. On another topic, Michelle, if you want to touch on this a little bit more detail, you can, but at the end of the day, we've discovered that our insurance policy has a cybersecurity policy, and it was limited at $1 million, and it is not covered under a general liability umbrella policy. So the committee has made a recommendation to council to increase the traveler's cybersecurity policy from 1 million to 2 million at a cost of $3,218. And I will make that motion.
We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Melissa, please give us a roll call vote.
Councilmember Boucher,
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward,
Yes.
Councilmember Brunner,
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks,
Yes.
Councilmember Menon,
Yes.
Councilmember Durr,
Yes.
and Council President Mull.
Yes. Okay,
And I guess at this point, we've already approved the purchase of the Aeroclave RDS 3110, correct?
it was referred.
No.
Oh, we did? Okay, all right.
No,
So,
It was referred to you guys, that's all.
okay, so it was referred to us.
That's
I
right.
apologize. So
All right,
we were punted to from infrastructure, I believe,
right.
to look into this Aeroclave RDS 3110. Michelle, I'll give you 30 seconds to tell everybody what that is again.
It's a device that can be used to sanitize vehicles, buildings, and other borough-owned facilities, not just for COVID, but, you know, for any type of virus contamination. We originally borrowed a unit from Western Berks, used it at Borough Hall, and I believe the police department and the maintenance garage. And now we will be purchasing our own that can be used at all of our facilities, including rental facilities like the Stonehouse or Happy Hollow.
So I will make, the committee is making the recommendation to purchase the Aeroclave RDS 3110 sanitation system in the amount of $15,743, and I will make that motion.
and a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and roll call for Melissa, please.
Councilmember Boucher,
Yes.
Councilmember Woodward,
Yes.
Councilmember Brunner,
Yes.
Councilmember Jenks,
Yes.
Councilmember Menon,
Yes.
Councilmember Durr,
Yes.
and Council President Mull.
Yes.
And then the last thing we talked about is starting to pay people with electronic vending. Obviously, we have to do it in a way that we have oversight of it, because it wouldn't be signing checks, but we'd be able to approve ledgers, but that is more to come in next month. So that's all I have for the Finance and Admin Committee.
Okay, all those in favor of accepting Finance Administration Committee's report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Planning
Tom, there are two resolutions that Steve's committee recommended last month, but they weren't ready for action by council at last month's meeting. I don't know if Steve wants to address those motions. Those are about signers on accounts at Customers Bank and Vist.
Is that's 2003 and 04, the resolution?
That's correct, yeah.
You want to do those, Steve?
Yeah, I'm digging. Hold on.
Okay.
What page do we think this is on, Melissa, my electronic file?
It should be right under the agenda,
Oh, it's up top. I'm glad you told me.
right under the agenda.
Yeah. Okay, so we're looking to approve resolution 2021-02.
Oh,
No,
03
three.
and 04, Steve.
Sorry, 2021-03 and 2021-04. I assume I need to read these?
Just the title.
Just the preamble.
Just the preamble. So it's a 2021-03 is the resolution of the Borough Council of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, amending resolution 2018-06 to revise the delegation of appointing authority for signatures on the borough's VIST financial depository accounts to the borough manager and treasurer by removing reference to the obsolete position of manager/secretary. I guess I'll make that motion.
And a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have it.
And then resolution 2021-04 is a resolution of the Borough Council of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, amending resolution 2017-02 to revise the delegation of appointing authority for signatures in the borough's customers' bank depository accounts to the borough manager and the treasurer, and I'll make that motion also.
And a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have it. Thank you.
Thanks for reminding me. Sorry.
Thank you.
Planning Commission, John.
Thank you. We met yesterday, predominantly talking about the Berkshire Mall West. There's a couple of, a few actions we have to take in that regard. And the committee recommends council follow the directives of the Traffic Planning and Design Review Letter dated February 4th, 2021, and require submissions of the CS-4401 and TIF documentation by the applicant, and allow the applicant to post escrow to defer the completion of handicap ramps upgrades along Woodland and Ridgewood roads until PennDOT has issued the permit. And I so move.
You have a second?
Second.
And all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Good, John.
Okay, I further recommend council grant conditional final plan approval subject to all review comments in McCarthy Engineering's review letter dated February 3rd, 2021. Traffic Planning and Design's review letter dated February 4th, 2021, and providing emergency access on the property as discussed, and I so move.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Go ahead, John.
Okay, finally on Berkshire Mall West, the committee recommends council grant Allied Properties the waiver from the subdivision and land development ordinance for the requirements to submit a preliminary plan and final plan, and grant Allied Properties the waiver from the subdivision and land development ordinance for architectural scale requirements, and I so move.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
And finally, this is something to do with Hummingbird Hill. Apparently, they're turning it into condos there, and there's a sliver of land. It's in the borough of Wyomissing, and a sliver of land in Cumru Township with all the balance of the property in the city of Reading. And council wants to defer approval of plot line separation to the city of Reading, and I so move.
We have a second on that.
Second.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
That's all I have, Tom.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor of the Planning Commission report, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, John. Next in line is the manager's report. Pat?
Good evening. Just wanted to pass along my thanks to all of our responders, first responders, police, fire, our borough staff, our borough public works crews, our parks and recreation crews for all of their work during Snowstorm Orlena. The borough did declare a disaster emergency in cooperation with emergency management. And that was put in effect January 31st, 2021. We're also following all of the PEMA West Side Emergency Management guidelines as to restitution and reimbursement. All those things are being tracked, and we'll have that if we move forward with a reimbursement mechanism. The Western Berks Water Authority minutes of November 9th are in your packets. The United States Department of Agriculture and Wildlife Division will start their deer density survey at 9 p.m. on February 23rd and 24th. The police department is aware of that. And that begins their survey of seeing where all the deer are. As Bill mentioned earlier about the fire department tower, those emergency repairs were completed. We did, the cost of those repairs did go down $5,000, so it ended up costing a total of $25,511.15 for that repair. And we are also requesting authorization to the Civil Service Commission to begin a promotional testing process for the fire technician position and a contingency process for the captain. And I would need a motion for council to request that for the Civil Service Commission to start that process.
I'll make that motion.
Motion on the table from Bill Jenks. We have a second, please.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. Go ahead, Pat.
We're still working, operating under all of our COVID-19 operations. And my last thing is the redevelopment overlay ordinance authorized for advertisement at the January meeting will be on the agenda for the public hearing and enactment at the March meeting. So if you have any questions on that, Chris would be available to answer that. And last but not least, Mr. Mall, I'm not sure who you want to handle this, but resolution number 2021-02. I know Mr. Jenks mentioned about the license plate reader for donation by the Wolves for both of those police vehicles, and I'll let someone deal with that resolution.
Bill, do you want to read that one?
It will be my pleasure to.
Sure.
Resolution number 2021-02, a resolution of the Council of the Borough of Wyomissing, Berks County, Pennsylvania, accepting a gift and expressing appreciation for the donation from Philip D. and Joanne L. Wolf. And I will make that motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have it. Thank you very much.
That's all I have, Mr. Mall.
Thank you, Pat. All those in favor of accepting the manager's report, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have it. Thank you very much. The next item is the treasurer's statement of operation for the general fund, the Bureau of Water, the sewer fund, the highway aid, refuse and recycling fund, and the road tax fund. Any questions on the financials? All those in favor of accepting that report as written, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have it. The next item is accounts payable. All the checks that were written last month for the general fund, the Bureau of Water, sewer fund, refuse and recycling fund. Any questions on the bills? All those in favor of accepting that report as written, please signify by saying aye.
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 Ayes have it. Next item on the list is the tax collector's report, and not a whole lot on that one. All those in favor of accepting that report, please signify by saying aye.
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 Have it. Better times are coming. We've taken care of the resolutions and everything else. Any other business to be brought before council this evening? If not, we'll stand adjourned. Thank you very much.
Good night, everyone.
Good night and have a good evening.
Good night.